Imagine this scene. You leave work, start your car. A message appears on the dashboard. AdBlue system defective. Unable to start in 500 miles. Your stomach knots. You know what's coming. It's not a spark plug, not a filter, not something fixed with $200 and back to work tomorrow. It's AdBlue, the cancer of modern diesel. You take the car to the official dealer. They look at you with that face that says, "This is going to hurt." And it hurts. Boy, does it hurt. A bill exceeding the car's value if it's over 8 years old. A repair so disproportionate you consider selling it for scrap. For a system that was supposed to save diesel, make it clean, green, acceptable. Lie. AdBlue was sold as diesel's salvation. In 2026, it's its executioner. I've been fixing engines for 30 years. I've seen technology evolve, I've seen real improvements, and I've seen scams disguised as progress. The SCR system with AdBlue is the biggest scam the automotive industry has perpetrated against diesel owners. Not because the technology doesn't work. It works, reduces NOx emissions, meets Euro 6, but it was designed with planned obsolescence, with components that systematically fail, with electronics so fragile one erroneous reading leaves you stranded. Today I'm going to explain why your mechanically perfect car can become a paperweight because of poorly designed urea. Why premium brands charge fortunes for systems that fail just like cheap cars, and how to protect yourself from disaster. Because it's coming. It's not if, it's when. The science of disaster. Why it fails. Let's get to pure engineering. No marketing, no excuses. What is the SCR system? SCR means selective catalytic reduction. It's the system that injects AdBlue, 32.5% urea solution, into exhaust gases. AdBlue reacts with nitrogen oxides, NOx, in the SCR catalyst. Converts them to nitrogen and water vapor, harmless. On paper, works perfectly. Reality, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Problem 1. Deadly crystallization. AdBlue is water and urea. Urea is a chemical compound that solidifies. At temperatures below 12 degrees Fahrenheit, AdBlue freezes, completely solid. Manufacturers say, no problem, there's a heater in the tank. Half truth. The heater works when engine is hot, but if you park with half-full tank in winter, AdBlue remaining in the lines crystallizes. Those lines are thin, 3 or 4 millimeters diameter. A grain of rice-sized crystal completely obstructs them. Problem 2. Cyanuric acid, the invisible killer. When AdBlue heats and cools repeatedly, especially if old or contaminated, it decomposes, forms cyanuric acid, a crystalline compound that deposits in AdBlue injectors, system lines, SCR catalyst. It's like scale in water pipe, but worse, because cyanuric acid doesn't dissolve easily. Over time, clogs everything, system stops working. Sensors detect no NOx reduction, and car enters limited mode. Problem 3. Tank collapse. This is the stupidest failure of all, and most common in Stellantis. AdBlue tank is made of plastic. Pump sucks AdBlue to send to injector. When tank starts emptying, pump generates vacuum. That vacuum literally deforms tank, collapses it from inside. Deformed tank presses against pump. Pump jams, stops working. And since everything's integrated in single piece, you can't change just pump, have to change complete tank. With pump, with sensors, with everything. It's obsolescence by design, no other explanation. Problem 4. Paper sensor system has multiple sensors. Sensor 1, AdBlue level sensor, tells how much remains. Sensor 2, quality sensor, detects if AdBlue is contaminated. Sensor 3, NOx sensors, measure emissions before and after catalyst. Sensor 4, temperature probe, verifies system works at correct temperature. Any of these sensors can give false reading. From moisture, from corrosion, from dirty connection, and when it gives false reading, system assumes failure, activates limitation protocol, and countdown begins. The brand failures. Nobody is safe. No brand is safe. All have made terrible mistakes, but some are worse than others. The Stellantis case, systemic disaster, Peugeot, Citroën, Opel, Fiat, Jeep, all under same umbrella, all with same defective system. The integrated cap failure. They designed AdBlue tank with fill cap integrated in pumping module. Sounds smart, it's catastrophic. When you fill tank, dirt particles enter. Dust, sand, anything. Those particles go straight to pump, because cap is right above. Pump is precision. Micron tolerances. A sand particle destroys it, and you can't change just pump. Whole piece is sealed assembly. Tank plus pump plus sensors. Ruinous repair. Easily exceeds value of car with 90,000 miles. The short trip problem. Modern Stellantis diesels hate city. Not exaggeration. AdBlue system needs temperature. SCR catalyst works optimally above 390 degrees Fahrenheit. If you only do 6-mile trips, system never reaches temperature. AdBlue injects but doesn't react completely. Accumulates in catalyst. Forms deposits. Crystallizes. Over time, catalyst saturates. Stops working. Needs replacement. An SCR catalyst isn't cheap. It's specialized part with precious metals. Absolutely disproportionate cost. Premium brands. Same problem. Bigger bill. Mercedes. BMW, Audi, Volkswagen. Supposedly superior engineering. Charge accordingly. Fail the same. Or worse. NOx sensor failure. NOx sensors are high-precision piezoelectric. Measure parts per million of nitrogen oxides. Cost a fortune and fail constantly. Humidity. Vibrations. Age. Anything kills them. Symptoms. Check engine light. Excessive emissions message. Power limitation. The trap. When sensor fails, system doesn't know if emissions are real or not. As precaution, assumes worst. And limits. Sensor replacement. Astronomical cost for thumb-sized part. The lying temperature probes. System needs to know exact exhaust gas temperature. To dose AdBlue correctly. Temperature probes exposed to 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit. Constantly, for years. They degrade. Give false readings. System injects too much or too little AdBlue. If too much, crystallizes. If too little, emissions rise and system enters error. VAG and combined DPF problem. Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, Skoda. All use same system. Particulate filter, DPF, and AdBlue system work together. When one fails, stresses the other. Saturated DPF equals constant forced regenerations equals more heat equals more AdBlue stress equals premature failure. It's vicious circle that ends with both systems needing replacement. Stratospheric bill that often exceeds what car is worth in used market. The legislative blackmail, the shutdown protocol. Here comes the part that boils my blood. AdBlue system doesn't affect engine's mechanical operation. Zero. Nothing. Engine can run perfectly without it. In fact, ran perfectly before Euro 6, but European legislators forced manufacturers to implement blocking system. If AdBlue fails, car enters limited mode, reduced power, and after certain mileage won't start. Not for safety, not because engine will break. It's pure legislative blackmail to force owner to repair emission system. The sensor dictatorship. A sensor gives false reading. System interprets failure. Activates protocol. Dashboard message. Refill AdBlue. Unable to start in 1,500 miles. You go to refill. Tank is full. Message doesn't disappear because it's not level problem. It's level sensor failing, but system doesn't distinguish. Sensor says empty equals blocking protocol activated. You take car to shop. Diagnosis. Defective level sensor. Sensor replacement. Costly repair. Because sensor is integrated in pumping module, which is single piece with tank. Again, obsolescence by design. The trip dilemma. You're on trip. 300 miles from home. Message appears. AdBlue system defective. 500 miles to lockout. What do? Find official dealer. They say part takes week to arrive, and repair is very expensive. Option 2. Keep driving, praying, counting miles. Until reaching home or trusted shop. It's unnecessary stress. For a peripheral system, that doesn't affect safety. If it were brake system, I understand. If it were steering, perfect. But it's exhaust post-treatment emission system. That only matters to regulations, not your safety. The update scam. Some official dealers tell you, needs software update, free under extended warranty. They update. 2 months later, same problem. Because update doesn't fix defective hardware, only temporarily resets error codes. It's kicking problem forward until you're out of warranty. And then yes, complete repair at your cost. How to avoid failure. Not all is lost. There are survival strategies. They guarantee nothing, but can delay inevitable. Or avoid it completely if you're lucky. Strategy 1. Anti-crystallization additives. Specific additives exist that add to AdBlue tank. Prevent crystallization. Maintain urea in solution even at low temperatures. Brands like Liquimoli, Wins, Bardol manufacture them. Car manual doesn't mention them because manufacturers don't want to admit there's problem. But in 2026, with the amount of documented failures, they're practically mandatory, especially if you live in an area with cold winters or if you do short trips. Strategy 2. Don't fill tank to maximum in winter. This sounds contradictory, but has logic. When AdBlue freezes, expands. If tank is completely full, that expansion can deform plastic. Always leave 20% free space, especially before parking outside with temperatures below freezing. Strategy 3. Never run tank low. When AdBlue level drops very low, pump starts sucking air. Air in system equals pump cavitation equals premature wear. Also, when almost empty, dirt particles from bottom concentrate and go straight to pump. Refill when reaching quarter tank. Don't wait for low-level warning. Strategy 4. Use quality certified AdBlue. Don't buy AdBlue at any suspicious gas station. Don't buy drums without certification. Use only ISO 22241 certified AdBlue. From recognized brands, contaminated or old, AdBlue forms crystals faster and damages system. Yes, costs bit more, but infinitely cheaper than replacing complete system. Strategy 5. Regular long trips. If you normally only do city, force occasional long trips. Once every 2 weeks, highway for 40 minutes. Engine at optimal temperature. AdBlue system working correctly. This helps clean system, burn deposits, keep everything fluid, not guaranteed, but reduces failure probability. Strategy 6. Annual preventive diagnosis. Once yearly, connect diagnostics at trusted shop. Have them read AdBlue system parameters, level reported versus real level AdBlue quality, sensor reading, system temperatures, NOx sensor status pending error codes. If they detect anything out of range, you can act before catastrophic failure. Change sensor in time, annoying but manageable. Wait for complete failure, economic ruin. The elephant in the room, delete and reprogram. Let's talk about elephant in room. Reprogramming, deletions. Eliminating AdBlue. They exist. In specialized shops, especially in Eastern Europe, they reprogram ECU, disable AdBlue system. Car runs without it. Forever. I'm not recommending this. Let me be absolutely clear. It's illegal. Don't pass emissions inspection. If caught, fine. An obligation to restore system. But I understand desperation. You have car with 125,000 miles, perfect engine, perfect transmission, perfect suspension, dead AdBlue system. Repair costs more than car. Options. Option A, repair at dealer, astronomical bill. Car worth less than repair. Option B, sell for scrap, lose mechanically perfect car. Option C, disable system, illegal, but car works. User is between rock and hard place. The rock, emissions inspection demanding working system. The hard place, unaffordable bill to repair peripheral system. And nobody helps. Manufacturers don't assume responsibility for defective designs. Regulations don't contemplate exceptions. Owner pays everything. My position as mechanic. I understand frustration. I understand desperation, but can't recommend illegalities. What I do recommend, political pressure. Consumer associations, class action lawsuits, pressure on manufacturers. This system is destroying perfect cars, costing fortunes to innocent owners. Manufacturers sold these cars as clean and modern, didn't warn about time bomb. They should assume responsibility, extend warranties, subsidize repairs, but won't do it without pressure. Conclusion, does diesel have a future? Diesel engine is brilliant, efficient, durable. With correct maintenance, reaches million miles. Problem isn't engine, it's peripherals. DPF AdBlue, EGR valves, sensors of all kinds. Systems added to meet regulations. Designed with planned obsolescence. Engine is eternal, its peripherals are ephemeral, and that kills diesel, not from mechanical failure, from cost of keeping anti-pollution systems running. Does diesel have future in 2026? For professional use? Yes. Vans, trucks, taxis, vehicles with high mileage that amortize costs. For private urban use, no. Costs don't compensate. Hybrids are better option. For private mixed or highway use, depends. If you do over 12,500 miles yearly, still compensates. If less, doubtful. Final warning, if you buy modern diesel, Euro 6 with AdBlue, enter with open eyes. Budget AdBlue system repairs. It's not if, it's when. If car is under warranty, perfect. When it expires, prepare wallet. If you buy used out of warranty with over 60,000 miles, you're playing Russian roulette. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you get the bullet. The final question: have you already suffered AdBlue warning? Have they charged you disproportionate bill? Tell me your case in comments. Brand, model, miles, what failed, what they charged. We need to document this so others know, so manufacturers see they can't hide it. If this video opened your eyes about AdBlue reality, share it. There are thousands buying diesel without knowing what awaits. Subscribe for more uncomfortable truths about automotive industry. No filters, no sponsors silencing me. Diesel was king. Regulations have made it hostage. See you in the next one, if my car's AdBlue lets me start.